There is a policy shift happening globally as we speak in regard to Bitcoin and crypto. What new country is lifting their ban on cryptocurrency trading for their institutions? We're going to talk about that. Also, we want today to be a community-focused show. So every 10 to 15 minutes, we'll be stopping and answering your questions. So make sure you are engaged in the chat. There's been a question you wanted to ask, either myself, Rob, Rocco, or Ashley. Feel free to put it in the chat. We're also going to be announcing the winner of our $50 giveaway, the Name That Band giveaway. It was a lot of good ones. We're gonna share which one won. Also, is Cardano mimicking what it did in 2021? And what are the targets if it does finish that setup that we saw in 2021 that we're currently seeing today? Also, we're going to talk about some Bitcoin flows, who's buying, who's selling. We're going to talk about what are our favorite 5 altcoins to hold going into the end of Q1. So through the end of March, which ones are we holding that is going to bring us the most amount of money? We're going to share that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content where we take old, boring, stale information.
What is wrong with you?
Repackage that whole thing up and say, what?
What is wrong with you? This young lady.
Why?
And you just consistent, like
I get
a virtual
on
date
the
with
regular.
Ashley?
What does that even mean?
Super chats. You get a virtual date with Ashley.
Red?
What does that mean?
Red super chats?
Yeah, 10,
That's
the girl
$1,000.
ain't cheap,
oh my
bro.
God, Jesus.
What's up? What do they get for a virtual date? I'm just curious.
I don't know. You just pimped me out. I guess I'll figure that out.
It was Rocco's
Oh
idea.
my God.
No, it wasn't.
Definitely not
No, it
Rocco's
wasn't.
idea. Don't bring him
No.
into that.
Nothing-
Rocco's a man of character. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got our in-house architect over here. All right. Falco said, finally, I can get some acknowledgement. All right. So there's a lot to talk about today. Bitcoin got up to that 97.8 level, came right back down to 95, a little bit of range bound, a little bit of consolidation and accumulation. I do want to start with this here. This was Bitcoin ETFs face 500 million in outflows as market momentum weakens. U.S. Bitcoin ETFs have experienced 3 straight days of investor withdrawals, totaling nearly $500 million. But you also have this. The National Bank of Canada has purchased $2 million in BTC via the ETFs. And so I just want to remind people, back in 2016, during President Trump's first go-around, in 2018, he started introducing and not implementing and introducing the idea of tariffs. What happened in 2018? The markets went bananas to the downside. Volatility spiked, prices bled, everyone was panicking, everyone was freaking out, no one knew what was going on. Again, I remind you, I've been playing in the stock market for a very long time. Investors want certainty. So when you have a new president that comes in, a new administration, and an administration that has been at breakneck pace, upending the entirety of the bureaucracy and everything happening, right? That's besides the point. There's a lot of uncertainty for investors in the market. And so when they can pull their money out of the market, go risk off and still attain 4 to 5% interest, and inflation is only at 3% year over year, they're going to go ahead and do that. So there's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines, a lot of money in the cash side of a portfolio, right? Your stable assets, your gold, your bonds, your treasuries, So that is kind of where we're at now. But I also want to remind you, at the end of 2018, we still ended the year green versus where we started with the large swings to the downside. I truly believe that is where we are now. The whole tariffs, they're upending this department, that department. They're finding fraud here. They're finding fraud there. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know what's going on. What is he going to do? Is tariffs going to kick inflation up? What's going to happen when they cut the deficit? So there's a lot of uncertainty. And I think this 500 million in outflows really goes to show you, along with a lot of other things, that a lot of people are not willing to go super risk on, as crypto is seen by majority of investors, at least on Wall Street, as more risk on than investing in Nvidia, Apple, Meta, or any of the blue chip stocks. That is what we're seeing. But again, everything will bounce back. And here's the thing to remember. We know crypto moves fast. So when those investors are ready to deploy capital back into the markets, they're going to have a Bitcoin ETF. They're going to have an Ethereum ETF. They're going to have an options trading. They're going to have a duo, a Bitcoin and an Ethereum ETF. They're probably going to have an XRP, a Solana, a Cardano ETF, maybe a Litecoin ETF, maybe a basket of crypto ETFs. That is all coming. And right now, if you want to stay ahead of the trend and you want to get in before Wall Street does, this is the time to accumulate. The time to accumulate is not when it's at 150K. You become exit liquidity. The time to accumulate is now, where Bitcoin's price is range bound. You can truly DCA in at average prices 95 to 98K. So that's what I think. What do you think?
I don't know if you're exit liquidity at 150, but I do think
You don't have
just because the price of Bitcoin, I still think is going to be upwards of 2 to 200,000, a half
Sorry, I
million
was
dollars.
50K off my bad.
Yeah, you know. But no, I feel it. No, there's obviously a shift, and the ETFs are evolving, right? The applications that are coming in are outside of just Bitcoin. What we saw originally with Bitcoin, then they were like, okay, fine, ETH, you can come in. But now, who doesn't have an ETF, right? You got Doge, you got Cardano, HBAR, Solana, XRP.
X doesn't have an ETF.
X?
Hex.
Oh, Hex. No, of course not. So also you're expanding on the functionality. So you're going to have the staking on ETH. I'm assuming if staking on ETH goes through, then you're probably going to also get staking on
Don't you
Cardano.
think that's going to be super bullish?
I think so. I don't know, man. I was always a little hesitant on the staking part, just
Why?
because it takes money out of the pocket of the issuers, right?
I could argue it puts money into their pocket. How does it take money out of their pocket? They're already getting their 0.25% fee. Then they're taking that ETH and they're staking it on Lido. Now with V3 out, we showed that yesterday, right? V3 is out, which is geared towards institutions.
I guess.
And in turn, they're getting staked ETH.
No, I was kind of thinking of in cash redemption would be out of the interest.
Oh, in-kind redemption.
Yeah. But staking overall is a net positive. I don't know. I find it interesting. I don't know how it would work. I know there's a lot of nuances into it, but as mentioned, the use case and utility that is these ETFs, as far as instead of just simply buying, the same way that like you can buy crypto and do more than just simply speculate on price. Obviously, you can stake it, you can use it as a gas fee. And so I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing more utility come out of these ETFs. That's what is, at least staking is the first thing to come down the pipeline. What else are we going to be able to get? Are you going to be able to pay for an ETH transaction with an ETF?
What?
I don't know. I mean, if you can stake it in Ethereum, I honestly, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. I'm just saying that it opens up the idea of doing more with the asset than simply speculating on price when it comes to the ETF. And so if staking is first, there probably will be some other things that you can do, right? I think staking is the first thing. And so I guess you could speculate, use your imagination on what ETFs could do later on, but I think it'll be more than just simply buy, speculate, maybe stake. I don't know. I'm pretty bullish on the whole thing. So,
Do you think we'll see another 3 ETFs approved this year?
yeah, there was those rumors that the XRP ETF could get approved today. And I know the day is come and gone for the most part for the East Coast, so more than likely not. But where I'm getting at is that there's a lot of speculation on it being approved sooner than later, right? And so I don't think that we're gonna wait all the way till November, December. I think that maybe within the next 60 days we start getting some approvals. That's just maybe just my vibe. I don't know. I think that the executive branch, government, new departments, the banking committee, they're going to put a little bit of pressure on the SEC to get the ball rolling on these ETFs. Right? We're supposed to be the crypto nation. What happens if China lifts the ban on Bitcoin and they start offering services and custodial services, and they let everyone buy and sell and trade crypto through their markets? Pretty sure the U.S. is gonna, Donald Trump ain't gonna let that ride. He's gonna be like, hold on, it's time for the U.S. to get in here.
Speaking of the U.S. and getting in here, this is Fed Governor Waller says banks and non-banks should be allowed to issue stable coins, calling stable coins as an important innovation for the crypto ecosystem with the potential to improve retail and cross-border payments. This is big. This is something we've talked about. What benefits will this serve the crypto industry? Talking about 1, adoption and legitimacy, right? 2, liquidity, right? And 3, better and more options for on and off ramps. Imagine being able to just buy a stable coin directly from your bank and use that platform to do whatever you need to do.
Oh, that's coming, man.
And the amount of liquidity that will be injected, and it's a win-win for the government. Why? Because which we now know that's what they want to do, for every dollar in stable coin you issue, you got to have $1 worth of liquid assets. And what do they want you to buy? They want you to buy their treasuries and their bonds. So it helps the U.S. with funding and the treasury side of things. It helps the crypto industry with liquidity, more issuers, stable coins, on and off ramps, legitimacy, you name it. So it's a win-win. This is coming, I believe, in the first half of this year. Legislation on stable coins, and you're going to see 1 or 2 major banks or institutions launch stable coins.
I don't know about banks launching stablecoins, but I think they'll offer the big boys, right? Tether, USDC, maybe one or the other, maybe both. As far as launching a bank-owned stablecoin, like a Bank of America coin or JP Morgan coin, I don't think it's here yet. I know we've already talked about it. We're not going to expand on it, but I think that's later on down the road, perhaps. I think the easiest and quickest solution for banks to make money is to simply offer Tether and make a partnership with them, or offer USDC, make a partnership with them. But, interestingly enough, is that when it comes to stable coins and banks, I think retail is going to take a while for them to catch on and get around to it. A lot of people just are comfortable using, their Zelle or whatever it is. And I don't think they're going to see the advantages of using stable coins, at least not the major population immediately. I think it'll come.
The people sending money overseas, the people that send money to their daughters in Israel will.
No, but here's the thing. Like, will they use their own internal transfer method, right? Will they say, hey, you can transfer to any other U.S. client with stablecoin, but we don't do international yet? Remember, the banks are probably not going to follow the same framework that you get for decentralized finance, where you just send it to any wallet address, right? I think that they're going to have recipient. Is the recipient? I don't know. What do you think? I feel like if the banks start sending stable coins for retail, it's going to be real controlled, right? They're going to say, just like you have for Zelle, you got to text somebody, have their phone number. I think it's going to be very similar, right? Hey, you can now send stable coins between other Bank of America customers and other people on.
That wouldn't be pointless. That would be dumb for them. They're making.
But they're going from zero participation for retail transfer to getting into the game. So are they going to come in full on, no walls, barriers, let their customers send and take money anywhere and everywhere internationally? I'm telling you, there's going to be some parameters on that thing.
I think they'll roll it out slow, like they do everything, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think they'll roll out slow, and I think initially it'll be transfer your stable coins to other bank users, U.S. users, things of that nature. I think that's how it initially rolls out. And I think some banks that aren't quite as large and regulated, I think they'll have a little bit more like, hey, send to anybody, receive anyone with a wallet address, just send them stable coins. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. don't hold a lot of faith in the banks giving customers control. I think they're going to try to retain as much control as possible. And I mean, history has just kind of, said that's how it is for the banks. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. But anyways, where I was getting at is that I think that you do get a slow rollout, regardless of what the parameters are, regardless of how retail can send. I think the big winner for banks, stablecoins, and for crypto industry is that institutions can now send money around the globe, internationally, between their own clients, from one branch to the other, from their corporate office in Mexico to their corporate office in New York or Chicago, whatever it is. That money, no more processing, no more wire transfer fee, no more waiting for 3 days, no more you reach the $3,000 limit on the transfer, no more, none of that. I think all of that just kind of goes away, and you simply have a very easy, cheap, affordable way of sending money instantaneously in dollar value from one office to another, or one company to another, or from one state to another, or country for another. That's going to make things a lot easier, and it being integrated into your bank, because if you're a corporate account and you have you have your corporate banking set up through Bank of America or JP Morgan, I think that is going to be where, hey, you use your bank login, send money wherever you want, pay clients, things like that. It's going to make a lot more sense.
I'll tell you what, man. I had to do a $30,000 wire transfer, and I paid $60 for that thing. $60 for a wire transfer. And so as a business, especially as a business in the crypto space, I think stablecoins will be very beneficial. Ashley.
Yes.
What questions do we have from the chat?
There's not a lot, honestly. Jimmy wants to know if we received an insurance payment from the club since it burned down.
We have not filed a claim yet.
Okay.
But the club it's under construction, correct?
It is. We are building the club up as we speak.
Can we get a tentative date?
Jimmy is real mad.
Very tentative.
Give me what's today? Give me by March 1st. First.
March 1st.
March 1st. We're gonna have a very nice clip.
Okay, March 1st. March 1st. Damn.
You did it, Jimmy. You did it.
Good job, Jimmy.
March 1st. Okay.
Gary Austin.
We will have the club.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Gary Austin. He made 4.5x on XRP. Should I sell half for Ondo or something that has more room to run? Thoughts?
Okay, good question. So he's made 550% on XRP. I'm assuming he has no exposure to Ondo. I would say yes. I wouldn't say get rid of your entire position. I would say maybe take 25% of the profits you made.
Yeah, I mean,
and put it in Ondo. I believe Ondo's going to rip, dude.
You can replace Ondo with whatever sector you believe in. If you're really bullish on Ondo, you don't have enough exposure there, then sure. Really what you're doing is rebalancing your portfolio. And as David mentioned, don't exit your position.
I would not.
Yeah, the way I look at it is like I like to have a percentage split on my portfolio, right? I have stopped DCAing into Bitcoin and just think that the value of it at this current moment, I can surpass my gains from Bitcoin and alts at this current moment. But anyways, that's besides the point. But I do have a percentage breakdown. As a roughly, we'll just use round numbers here. So let's just say I want to keep a portfolio 50% Bitcoin, right? Mine is larger, but we can just say 50% Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's price doubles and now my percentage of my portfolio went from 50 to 70%, I'll just sell my 20%, get back down to 50, take that profits and roll it into the other categories that make up my portfolio. So if I got 50% Bitcoin, then I have 25% gaming and 25% RWAs, then the half of the pie that is Bitcoin goes up by 20%, sell that, and then roll it into the other categories. Very simple. And so for you, if you got in to XRP at 50 cents, what it sounds like, now it's at 250. You know what? If you want to keep the same percentage that you had, say you had half of it in Bitcoin, and now all of a sudden a third of your portfolio is XRP, and you want to get back down to 20%, and sell that gap. That's my recommendation. If you want to, if that's my strategy. But in all to you, if you want to sell it all and go buy a car, go do that too. Why not?
I don't know about that.
Ain't nothing wrong with taking profits, man.
You should
don't be the old guy that didn't sell anything and then just drives a
Why they
you
gotta
know,
be
a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla and, you know, just refuses.
Talking about my car?
Hey,
Okay,
it's
I'll
talking
go
about
buy a
us. We're
Mercedes
Toyota guys.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm a Toyota guy.
Yeah, me too.
All right. That was a direct hit. Very
That
good.
was.
Look, man,
All right.
I drove a Chevy Sonic
I remember that car.
I rode that thing for 10 years, bro. Stick shift and all. I went to the car dealership and I was like, what's the cheapest car you got here?
We don't have
They
a
were
car.
like, they
we have a mule.
Did you do that with your current car too?
No, I did not. When I spent a little bit of money on that thing. Yeah, they pointed to that little tiny sedan, the Chevy Sonic. It's a lady magnet, you know. I picked up all the hose with that thing. But anyways,
Hose. Wow.
yeah,
All the hose.
Like the garden hose?
that's all that
Lady
can fit in the
Maggie.
trunk. Yes, you're
crossing over on the street.
right.
Robin's been hanging out over here on Trop in Decatur. If you're from Vegas, you know exactly where that place is and what happens there. All right. If you got more questions, drop them in there. Every so often, we'll go to Ashley. She'll have some questions ready up, and we'll keep the community engaged. Before I move forward, I want to give a big thank you. Today's show is brought to you by Legacy Network, the Legacy Academy app. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. Download it. It's free, and you can earn money for their LGCT token. They're looking to bridge over to ETH and VeChain very, very soon. And they do have a Legacy wallet app, too, where you can get your Legacy tokens. You can actually stake them as well if you'd like to. So download the app and then click on the link in the description to join their Telegram. Let's talk a little bit about Solana. It says, Anthony, scared of the moochie. Scared of the moochie.
You know, people talk about the sky being the limit when it comes to the ceiling.
Well, listen, you know, Andrew, I began my Bitcoin journey about 5 years ago, and I've been tarred and feathered and praised as it goes up and down, and you oscillate between genius and dummy. But I think that Bitcoin now is representing where prices should have been in 2022. And said differently, if you look at the November Bitcoin futures approval, just studying administrative law, the spot ETF should have been approved sometime in the first quarter of 2022. So all of that delay caused a lot of that price damage. And so I see it here as the community seeing itself getting propitious, decent, middle-of-the-road regulation. And if you look at the people that the Trump administration has put into those positions, I think you end up getting that. And so 97,000, 98,000 is sort of where I thought we would be 3 years ago. So the real question is, will the institutions enter the game? And I think you see some of the endowments starting to do that. We know some of the sovereign wealth funds in the Middle East are quietly doing that. And so I think it's going to be a very good year for Bitcoin.
Where are you on this strategic reserve idea, if you were a betting man?
Well, I think it'll likely happen at a small level. I think David Sachs has been very smart to delay it. I think the executive order showed good judgment because you want to get the buy-in from the Republicans and the Democrats, not just one party. You'd hate to see a strategic reserve going into place, Republicans lose power, and then the Democrats pull the rug on Bitcoin and take it out of the strategic reserve. I think you need to get buy-in on both sides. I think it was very smart of David Sachs to make sure that there was a 6-month debate and 6-month analysis of this. But I do think you get something. Remember, we have 27 other things in our strategic reserve. It's not just gold and oil. There's trace minerals and other things that.
What are your thoughts on what Anthony said? You know, he said, hey, look, last thing you want is for them to rush into a strategic reserve and then
Rush. Let's go.
the Democrats come in and they dismantle it.
What you waiting for? If you do it, if you pass it in a form of a bill and a law instead of an executive order in the way that Cynthia Lummis already has the bill drafted, then it would take Congress to undo it, right? And so it'd be a little bit more difficult than simply saying, "Hey, we got a change of the executive branch." Not to say it can't be done. If we see an election where the pendulum swings, we go back from a Republican dominant House, Senate, an executive branch. Could they undo it? Absolutely. But I feel comfortable with the bill, man. Put the bill together. Let's not take too long, man. I'm a little nervous, bro.
About what?
I'm a little nervous. I'm nervous that if all of a sudden we find our scenario where we're a year in and they're like, well, we're still doing a little research. We're still thinking about X, Y, and Z. I'm a little apprehensive that we actually get it, man. I don't know. I thought the Bitcoin reserve was going to start quick, right? Doesn't 8 months sound like a long time? 6 months, 8 months?
For Congress, it's not, believe it or not.
I get that.
Yeah,
man.
but
I understand.
here's the thing. We got midterms in 2 years, and
That's
Republicans
what I mean.
can vary.
If it's a year from now, you got midterms in 2 years. It's like I get a little nervous, man. Honestly, like, why don't we just start? For me, let's do the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and then have the sovereign wealth fund managed by the U.S., the U.S. sovereign wealth fund, and then have them pick and choose other cryptos to put in there. I think that I'm obviously crypto focused. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi by any stretch of imagination, but let's get the Bitcoin reserve going and then invest a little bit more strategically speaking outside of Bitcoin in the sovereign wealth fund. What do you think? Would you like to see that, or would you? Are you rather wait it out, see what assets should be put into
the reserve.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know. Are they going to go forward with only Bitcoin, or are they going to do the whole digital asset thing? I get what Anthony's saying as far as if you have both sides that are if it becomes a bipartisan issue, then there's less likelihood of any repeal, whether it's through an executive order or through actual, legislation. Obviously, legislation would be, more permanent. But they want to wait 6 months. It is what it is. Like you said, the bill's been drafted,
but don't you feel like Bitcoin is bipartisan? I think like you're gonna get more pushback from Democrats and more arguing from one side to the other if you start throwing in other crypto assets. I feel like there is a list of Democrat politicians that own Bitcoin and that are Bitcoin focused. So don't you think that if you wanted to keep it from being repealed, keeping it strictly at Bitcoin would be the most bipartisan decision? Because I feel like you start throwing XRP in there, you start throwing other assets in there.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's kind of my whole point. It's just like I feel uncomfortable having other assets in there for a long-term 20-year. I mean, what happens if, let's just say, hypothetically, right? And okay, we know XRP is lobbying to get their asset into the strategic reserve, right? The Bitcoin one, right? Now, from this is just a hypothetical. It's not going to happen. It's not my true thoughts, but let's just play fucking dreamland here for a second. All right, we're dreaming, okay? All of a sudden, XRP gets into the strategic reserve, right? Okay, you got Bitcoin, XRP. Let's throw some other assets in there. Let's pretend now that Ripple goes under. The company goes under. All of a sudden, XRP goes to zero.
This is going to be clipped and put on the internet.
Yeah, I understand. This is dream world. This is just a hypothetical dream scenario, okay? Nightmare scenario, okay? Let's just now that goes to zero. What do you think the politicians are going to say?
We told you so.
Yeah, and then what is going to happen? Then they're going to try to repeal. Now they're going to try to repeal it and close it down and say like this is too risky. And so where I'm at is that I understand that as long as the miners keep mining, the network gets more decentralized, the hash power increases, nothing's going to happen to Bitcoin. Hypothetically speaking, anything could happen to any of the altcoins, right? At least there's more of a chance of something going wrong with altcoins.
Especially if there's a foundation or a centralized entity behind it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my whole thing is that I just feel a little bit feel uncomfortable with other things in there. Let the sovereign wealth fund do that because they can sell a position. They could they can buy more, whatever it is. I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Actually, Robin's uncomfortable. Will you comfort him?
No.
Okay.
We got any new people? What's going on? What do we got?
McRae, Rock, Petals, and Roses. Zach Martin, Andrew Brown, and Adam's Eye. Yeehaw.
Adam's Eye is, right?
I do. While we're here, would you like me to get to the questions or?
Not yet. I would like
Okay.
to provide some comedic relief for the show. This is just a video.
Bueno, acá estamos volviendo de la recorrida, obviamente con mi amigo, con preguntar y
Ashley, thoughts on the dog riding a pony with a, what is this called?
Poncho.
Pancho with the hat.
I like it.
Someone make a meme coin out of this. I'll buy it. This exact picture right here. Why does it say dark web? And then we also had this, this hit home because this was me yesterday. You know, when you forget to take your phone to the bathroom and you start picking up random stuff and reading the ingredients and then.
You ever been like out and about hanging out with people and then like, because we're in Vegas. So anytime we leave the confines of our nice little comfortable neighborhood, we go to tourist area. And tourists like to take photos.
Mm.
And so you just be walking
There's
through.
one subset of tourists that definitely likes to take photos. They'll take photos of lampshades.
Yes. Yeah, people that like to throw peace signs. So anyways, anyways, there's a lot of people that try to give me their phone and be like, can you take a photo for me? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. I will not touch your phone. And the reason being is that every time someone goes to the bathroom, they bring their phone.
Mm.
Have you ever heard of somebody washing their phone? You wash your hands, but you never wash your phone.
You know, in Asia, they have, I'm not even trying to be funny.
Was it
where you put your phone in and it like sanitizes it?
Well, I haven't seen it in
Wow.
the U.S. bathroom, and I
Yeah,
know that people over here are pooping, and they're pooping with their phone. Also, people like to watch porn on their phone and won't go down that rabbit hole. So if you try to pass me your phone and you want me to take pictures, I will not do it. That is a bacteria machine. Thank you.
You're welcome. This was interesting. Posted by the number one KOL on X, AIXBT, said Ethereum Foundation moved over 40,000 ETH into DeFi today. Robin, they put in 30.8 thousand Ethereum into AAVE, letting it compound. They are choosing yield over selling. You know, we're seeing a shift here, okay? CZ comes out yesterday and says he's going to interact with the community more, with the meme coin community, shared his dog, the picture and the name, knowing full well that a meme coin was going to be launched, which it was. I don't know what it ran to, like 100 million. You have Solana, what they've been doing. You've had Andre Cronje and with Sonic. You have Cardano and Charles Hoskinson, one of the most anti-meme coin, shit coin, whatever. And he's over here hyping up meme coins in videos. So I feel like we're starting to see a little bit of a shift, and it looks like Ethereum has kind of caught on because one of their biggest, one of the things people really got on Ethereum for in the Ethereum Foundation was selling. They would constantly sell the top. And so now it looks like what they're doing is they're not only trying to earn money with the ETH they have, but they're supporting their ecosystem. What are your thoughts on this?
It's good.
I'm not trying to be funny.
The network will keep, you guys know where I stand on ETH, right? And the network will keep evolving. The community will keep growing. ETH is not by any stretch of the imagination dead or anything of that nature. I'm a little apprehensive in buying Ethereum now because of its lackluster price movement. There's also fire and smoke behind the scenes with the Ethereum Foundation. There is a lack of scalability and throughput, ease of use, transactions, lack of scaling, a roadmap that will never freaking come true, or at least has been delayed to death. And so for me, I'm hesitant. News like this doesn't surprise me. People will keep buying ETH. The price of ETH will continue to increase. Will it outperform Bitcoin? Perhaps.
Does it also make you uncomfortable?
What's that?
Does this make you uncomfortable?
No. It's
Okay,
very comfortable.
Okay.
Very comfortable.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
do like AAVE though. I'm not a anything ETH touches. Don't like it. I love AAVE. And I think that AAVE provides a service that is rivaled by few as far as security. And it's truly decentralized. And It's I don't know, man. I can't speak negatively on AAVE. Pretty bullish. On the base layer ETH, I don't know. I'm apprehensive on getting an ETH position right now. I just feel better off with Bitcoin at the moment.
You know, Cricket said, Valentine's Day tomorrow. What's David getting his wife from CVS? I'm proud to announce I've upgraded to Amazon. You're welcome, babe.
Did you get something good or
I got her some good. I got her some roses, very expensive roses.
off of Amazon?
You ordered
Not
roses from Amazon?
not-
Are they plastic?
Here we-
Jesus.
Here we go. The roses were from a local florist. Okay.
Oh.
Also, there was a funny comment. Someone said, I think it was Benny Blue. I said, hey, Robin, can you take a picture for us? Picture. Anyways, Ashley, what questions do we have from our community?
Well, I was going to have you answer the CVS question,
Okay,
but whatever.
Yeah.
McRae wants to know if girls are allowed to trade crypto.
Are girls allowed to trade crypto? You know, I'm going to say it. No.
Okay,
Just kidding. Yeah.
fair.
Not with my money. You want to do you? Have at it.
I know one really, really good trader who's a female. Anyways, go ahead.
Jimmy wants to know, David, what's your polo size?
Extra large.
Okay. Crypto antagonist. What Goodwill do you shop at?
Go on.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
I
It's all
don't
about
go
the
to
community
Goodwill,
today.
man. Absolutely not. You know,
Lion
I'm a
ass. You've been to
germaphobe.
Goodwill,
What's
bro. I
Goodwill?
literally saw you at Goodwill like 3 weeks ago.
I donate to Goodwill right off my tax.
And then he goes buys it. He donates it for tax purposes, and he goes right back and
goes
buys
back and picks it up.
it. Hey, bro, if you save $100 on taxes, but you buy the thing back for $5, the math doesn't make sense. I know, but go ahead.
Okay. Daniel wants to know, is Avalanche going?
Where is it
Going where? I don't
Going.
know,
Oh.
but is it going?
Daniel Kaufman, literally, he's in our show every day, so we appreciate that. The only thing he ever talks about is whether Avalanche is going to go up. And I'm pretty sure because you watch our show, Daniel, you know we're very bullish on Avalanche. And
I'm extremely bullish.
that has not changed.
Yes.
All right. We'll do this again in about 10, 15 minutes. With that being said, Rob, let's take a look at the market.
All right. So got Bitcoin floating around that 96 mark, a little down from there. Little downside volatility. So this morning, early in the morning, last night, we had Bitcoin over 97,000, back around that 95, 96K range. So we'll keep an eye on that. Biggest gainer. You got, just flipped. The Caspa was at the top of this, but
They got listed, their perps got listed on Coinbase. People speculating, is a Coinbase spot listing coming, potentially?
No, really good value. I mean, you take a look. It was at 9.5 cents yesterday, and you saw it at 8 cents earlier this week. You know, we were telling you it was a pretty good time to get a position on Caspa if you've been watching us last week. You look back on the 1 month, it shows you where the value is. You know, there's a lot of altcoins in a similar situation. Caspa at 10 cents down from 13 where it was a couple weeks ago. And then you look on the 1 year, I do expect this thing to have a full rebound to about 20 cents. So could you get a entry at 10 cents on Caspa, flip it at 20 cents? I think it's a no-brainer. And so for me, very, very excited about Caspa. Glad to see it had a nice little breakout, and especially if it starts getting the big exchange listings, which we know is around the corner, not just speculating. We see immense value there. Taking a look at Avalanche, as we were on the subject, if you're asking if it's going to pop off, take a look at this 1 year chart. We did see it over $50 back in December, also over $50 back in March. And so once the altcoin space starts to run, I think that you'll see a $50 Avalanche pretty quickly again. Also, you couple that with the gaming narrative. We're expecting any day now off the grid to have its NFT marketplace, and basically their skins, guns, and their, I forget the name of the cube, but the asset that you extract in the game. All of these assets are going to be on chain on.
Yeah, what is that called? Orb. No, not an orb.
It's like orb or cube or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, feel pretty good at that price as well. And then to get back to the big winners and losers, going down the list, you got Quant and Helium, both up 3%. Helium's been performing pretty well. It's one of the top performers from the 1 week, up 21% here on the 7-day. When you look at the biggest gainers for the week, you have PancakeSwap, Litecoin, Caspa, and Helium rounding out the top 5, all over 20%. PancakeSwap almost a full 2x. You know, we've seen a lot of movement out of there. What could that mean for crypto? You know, I'm still very, very bullish on crypto.com. You go down to crypto.com and I'm like, why are we circling back to this? Because I think that crypto.com being, you know, the Crow token being part of the Kronos chain, we look at Binance and their token and the BNB token being the Binance Smart Chain. We've seen multiple exchange tokens rip. We have yet to see that very, very strong performance of Kronos. Remember, crypto.com, one of the largest exchanges globally, has had permission to recently to offer services in Europe, across Europe, and there's some banking integration there as well. Take a look on Kronos. It was at 20 cents, 21 cents back in December. It was also at 16 cents back earlier last year and back in March. And so currently at 9 cents, I feel very confident getting in on a position on Kronos as well. You know, I'm a big Kronos and Avalanche bull for this year. I think that this pullback is the last time to get some good entry points. Any big standouts for you, David, on the altcoins? I know that we've had some volatility recently. We've seen a little bounce from certain projects in the altcoin space.
So you're okay. So you're bullish on Kronos, Avalanche. What else are you bullish on? Because we're supposed to say 5.
Yeah. I think that Solana.
You said Caspa.
Caspa. I think Caspa. I'll be honest with you, as Caspa gets closer to that 12, 13 cents, I'm less and less interested for a big swing trade, right? For a make money short term. I was really, really excited when Caspa got down to that 8, 9 cents. It's at 10 cents. It's not far off, but I'm a little bit more bullish on Kronos. I think Kronos has the most upside out of the 3, even Avalanche. But there's a lot more risk there. We've seen a lot of stagnation on Kronos, but I feel pretty comfortable on it. I do think Solana starts to rip again. We haven't seen a lot out of Solana. You look at Solana on the 1 year, for it being as dominant as it is in the altcoin space with as many dApps and as much meme coins, you would expect a larger performance out of Solana. On the 1 year, it has not 2x'd. You know, we went from about $120 to $190. We've seen some swings here. We got as high as 250, but I don't know, man. I think that we could see a large run out of Solana here shortly. So I'm a buyer of Solana. I think that we do see Solana at over $300 within the next 90 days. Pretty bullish on that one. So Solana, Caspa, Kronos, Avalanche, and do I need to get one more here? Was that?
You gave
which one? I added one more. You know, you can throw and there's so many good ones here, man. I'm just scrolling by so many like ooh.
VeChain, I think is.
You like VeChain?
I like VeChain.
I think Cardano is pretty. You know what, Dogecoin, man. I think Dogecoin has yet to have its time in the sun just yet. You know,
45 cents.
45 cents. All-time high back in 2021 was it 60 cents or something like that? 55 cents, somewhere in there.
For me, I have a few that I believe are extremely undervalued. The first one that really kind of jumps out at me is RUNE. It's sitting at $9. The AL supercomputer mainnet went live earlier this week, which leverages the AR token. I think at a 600 million market cap, extremely undervalued. Excellent tokenomics. You take a look at a project like Athena, right? Athena is DeFi for institutions. and one that we shared with our Patreon members, which if you're not signed up with a Patreon, hop in there. We're adding a lot of cool features in there over the next couple of weeks. And so you want to be part of the Patreon. Also for the whale members, today's the final day that you get access to the Patreon. After today, if you want that alpha, you're going to have to go through the Patreon. So I got the other one I was talking about that was in institutional DeFi was asymmetry finance. And I put this in our Patreon. This is $15 million market cap. So a little higher risk, but this is gearing towards institutions, and they're backed by Franklin Templeton, or excuse me, they're backed by Fidelity. So this is a big one as well. That's my DeFi play. I am super bullish on RUNE for gaming. RUNE is currently, let's pop in RUNE here. RUNE is currently at a $754 million market cap at number 92. So RUNE, for me, you want to get ahead of the gaming narrative. I think RUNE's an excellent play. I think SWE at $3.48. I think SWE's going to have a big run, man. I think SWE's going to run to $10. I really do. I'm also very, very bullish on RWA. And then I can't like AI. So ARC and Virtuals Protocol are right now, when you talk about infrastructure, they're my two favorite plays. ARC and Virtuals Protocol. And Virtuals just bridged over to Solana. So that's going to be pretty big, tapping into that massive liquidity and user base. I think it's going to benefit them greatly. But there's so many great projects that have been around for a while, that are building, that are innovating, that are just at steep discounts right now. And so, yeah, those are kind of mine. Let us know what you think in the chat. We also, we have a special guest joining us. We have Ernest from Decrypted Tax. We're going to bring him on to answer some questions about tax season. You know, I'm curious. You know what? Let's bring him on. Ernest, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're great. Thank you so much for joining us. I know this is obviously the busiest time of the year when it comes to taxes for you. From your experience, and Ernest, you've been in our space for a very long time. What's your experience with tax season, when people start getting their taxes back? What's the average person's refund? And then do you see a trend of that money trickling into the crypto markets this time of year? Anything you've kind of noticed with that?
Yeah, so most of the refunds will happen between now and April, maybe end of April. And so you'll see a lot of the refunds happening. And sure, I can see people reinvesting in digital assets coming out of those refunds. But for our clients, I try to minimize the refunds. I want them to pay in as little as possible during the year, and to make sure that they're reinvesting that actively throughout the year. Far too many people give the government that free loan for that entire time. And so we help with that, doing tax loss harvesting towards the end of the year and doing some forecasting for our clients.
Awesome. What advice would you give to people right now who are maybe getting ready to file their taxes? Any piece of advice that you would give to people?
Yeah. So if you have digital assets, make sure you check that box on the tax return. That box that says I own digital assets, or I've held digital assets during a year, that's immensely important. The importance of that is extending sunsetting the statute of limitations on a review of that return. If you file a false return, that is, you have digital assets and you don't check that box, that statute of limitations runs for 10 years. So it's important to check that box if you had digital assets. So if you're watching this channel, I'm sure you're going to have to check that box. Yeah. But the important thing is to find a tax preparer advisor that has experience with crypto, understands DeFi, understands staking, lending, everything there is to know about crypto, and stick with them. There's a hesitancy to switch accounting firms that prepare your tax returns. And we understand that at Decrypted, and that's why we have different levels of service. One of our levels of service is just preparing your 8949 Schedule D, which means you'll have the documents you need to provide to your tax preparer, so that they can continue providing you the tax services that they provide.
Awesome. Actually, I think we're doing our taxes with you on Wednesday. Super excited about that.
Yeah.
I used the guy last year, and he knew nothing about crypto, and I was just like, okay, I can't do this because I need to know, hey, what can I write off? What can I not write off? Am I supposed to claim this? Am I not supposed to claim this? So I agree with you, Ernest. Are you still doing the free 1 hour consult for people?
Yes, absolutely. So, there's a link on our
Go ahead.
website for free 1 hour consultations at decrypted.tax. You can schedule that with either Lincoln Allard, who Lincoln's my lead on Decrypted, or myself. My schedule tends to be a little bit more booked than Lincoln's does, but we're both going to be booked during this tax season because we've got lots of new clients and we're doing a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, you guys are great. Guys, what I recommend is, even if you just have some questions, go to the website. It's free. Ask as many questions as you like. Also, what I found out when we brought Ernest on last year was because I paid a lot of gas fees in ETH during the NFT boom. And I did not know that you could write off the gas fees as expenses to bring your net income down, essentially, right? And so that is something. And what's the year? 3 years you can go back to amend a tax return?
3 years.
3 years.
You can go back 3 years from the date of filing to amend tax returns. And when we bring in new clients, that's one of the first things we do is we go back and look at the last 3 years. When you import your wallets or your API data into our software, it's provided by Node 40 on the back end of our website. When you import, we not only can provide tax reports from this year, but we can look at what you did in the previous years and see if there's any opportunity to amend and possibly get a refund.
Amazing. Ernest, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you joining us, brother. And thanks for taking the time again. I know you're busy. And we'll chat on Wednesday. Excited for that.
Yep.
Brother,
I'll be there.
care.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. Taxes, it's something that you got to, like, here's the thing. And if you're paying taxes, it's actually a good thing. You made money, right? So go to decrypted.tax. And what I recommend is if you have questions or if you feel like you spend money on gas fees, and you can get some money back and refund, even if it's a few $100. It's a week worth of groceries for some people. So yeah. Ashley, do we have any questions from the community? Wait, before you do that, actually, sorry, I know I just cut you off, but we did this yesterday. I posted this video and I said, name this band. Okay. And we had a lot of really, really good responses, but my favorite was this one, the Jerry Activists. That guy, I will send you a DM. It's going to come from our account, Sin City Crypto 1. I will ask you for your USDC address, and I will send you $50 in USDC. So congratulations. There was a lot of good ones in there, but this one was definitely was my favorite. So, all right, Ashley, do we have questions from the community?
Well, go ahead and answer that one.
Ask Rob and Dave if they can play 16 missed calls to end the show. I think they put a copyright on that, didn't they?
I'm not sure. Yes, they did.
They did, right?
No.
No, that was Bitcoin
the,
Ballin'.
the Bitcoin balling.
Bitcoin balling, gonna shot. Such a dumb song. Very catchy, though.
Anyways,
so I guess the answer is no.
okay. Diamond hands, do leverage positions that are American made fall under the proposed no tax rule?
Wow, that would have been a great question to ask Ernest.
Well, you don't want to answer questions until now, so I don't know.
So here would be my thing, and I am not a tax professional, but I probably shouldn't say this. Whatever platform that gives you tax forms, that's what you should be filing. Make sure whatever tax forms you get from platform, whether it's Coinbase, Kraken, Crypto.com, if you get a tax form, a 8649, then yes, file those taxes. But trading and capital gains, if it is the whole Made in America crypto thing, then I would assume no, you wouldn't have to pay taxes on that. Yeah.
Are you making any videos about BitTensor? Is that what it's called?
BitTensor, yeah. We probably should. Their dynamic tile went live, so we'll see.
People want to know if I have crypto or a Valentine's date. No.
No to both?
Yeah.
No Valentine's Day, huh?
No.
Not even the virtual day. Yeah, you made it freaking expensive.
Yeah.
$1,000.
Well, I mean,
At least
which
you
is
put a
fine.
At least you put a high
fine.
value on you. At least if it was like $5, $10, you'd be like, damn, I'm only worth $50. So, yeah.
I get it. Whatever. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, what's the virtual date look like, anyways?
I don't know.
Why are you so mad?
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
Someone put $2 in and said he'll make a payment plan.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Not bad.
It's a start.
No.
Charge him interest.
Ooh.
Is that it?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Everybody else had like silly questions.
All right. Silly. Nilly manilly. All right. That's it for the show today. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to come back.
What are you doing tomorrow for Valentine's Day?
What do you mean? I'll be doing the show.
Hmm.
And then I'll be going to pick up the flowers for my wife, taking them to her work.
Hanging out with my brother for Valentine's Day.
That's so
Nice.
cute.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Very
romantic.
The guy's auntie on Valentine's.
You know.
we don't know. Tell us.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's all I got. Anyone else have anything?
I got nothing.
Nothing. Rocco,
No.
Happy Valentine.
happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine.
We'll be back here tomorrow to share our love of crypto with you, the community watching. So make sure to come back. With that being said, Rocco, thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, ping your notification bell on, and follow us on X. And shout out to that guy. I'll be sending you a DM here shortly. We love you guys. Until tomorrow. Peace.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon, then to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.